So, good morning, everyone. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. Well, rightly said by Nikola Tesla. It is this science that allows every one of us to never stop questioning, be it as simple as the invention of fire or be it queries related to black holes. Science is, in a true sense, a real infinity. That is, it has no ends. It is this particular thought on which AICHE NIT Rourkela has embarked upon and through its regular K-12 session tries to give insights on various STEM topics to the next generation of plethoric science enthusiasts like you all. Another day, another session, but the excitement level is all the same. Having said this, we welcome you all bright students and teachers to this wonderful initiative of ours, the K-12 Expo, a 3-day long science heist for the sharp schooling minds. In today's session, our topic of study is a workshop on Microsoft PowerPoint and Microsoft Excel, and the intended class participation is from 9 to 10. Lots of things lined up for you all, but first let's welcome our guest teacher, Mr. Lalit Mohan Sahu sir from Kendriya Vidyalaya Sector 6, Rourkela. Sir, we hope that you will attend this session as well and provide us with your valuable insights. Great to have you on board. For today's session, we have with us Isha, Priyanshu, Suman, and Sagar as your hosts. They will accompany you all on this insightful journey. Over to you guys.
So, good morning to one another present here. I, Isha Panale, is going to give you a brief about MS PowerPoint introduction and its benefits. So, let's start. So, what is a Microsoft PowerPoint? It's a professional presentation. It creates a slide which shows information, charts, images, and etc. And it can also be shared into CD or USB. So, it's a good way to convey pieces of information, usually in the form of outline, to a large audience. As you have all seen in your online classes, now your professors are showing and teaching in the way of PowerPoint presentation.
You have a story.
Let's
PowerPoint
watch a interesting video.
style. Thousands of online templates and themes. Design like a professional in 2 easy steps. Just add an image and pick your favorite design. PowerPoint helps you tell your story visually with pictures, charts, animations, and videos. Need to collaborate? Save your presentation to OneDrive and share so you can work on it together and see changes as they happen. And when you're out of the office, you can keep going with the PowerPoint mobile app. When you're ready to deliver, present with confidence. Presenter View shows your current slide, speaker notes, and your next slide, so you can stay focused and connect with your audience. Bring your story to life with PowerPoint. We'll show you how.
Looks pretty neat, right? We are going to teach you in the further slides. Now let's understand. It was initially released 30 years ago. It was created by Robert Gaskins and Daniel Austin. It was released on April 20, 1987. And PowerPoint 1.0 was first sold of 10,000 units. And in 90s, the worldwide presentation was 95% MS PowerPoint. Let's move. Now let's understand what are its benefits. So it gives us fast creation. To make presentation using any word processor may take more time, but here is the amazing aspect. PowerPoint brings everything under one umbrella. As I said earlier, users can add slides and add any content in the slide like chart, images, bullet points, and etc. Second is personal audio and video insertion. As we have seen in previous slide, we have inserted a video. In the similar manner, you can add videos, audios, and etc. So PowerPoint empowers the users with this facility also. Now, second is its third is helps in demonstrating the presentation. It is not that user has to recall each and every detail of the presentation while presenting it. It offers an option of speaker notes to include the speech. It makes the entire process of delivering the presentation very easy and crisp. The user don't need to take help from different programs, neither they need to switch from one program to another program. Second is it gives us easy sharing. MS PowerPoint files come with an easy share option. Users can simply use it as an attachment and mail it to others to share the file. This is an option to upload the presentation on Google Drive and share other files. Last one is useful for anyone. It can be used by anyone, students and professionals, as it is very user friendly. Now, over to you, Priyanshu.
Thank you, Isha. Hello, everyone. I am Priyanshu Das, and I would be discussing with you all the basics of MS PowerPoint and the roundabouts of everything in a gist. So coming to the interface first, so we have the home screen, the interface of the PowerPoint. So this is basically what you see when you open the app. And then we have put labels also so that you can identify each part of the interface. So starting with the title bar at the top, which says the name of the presentation, which is presentation one in this point, in this case, and the name of the application. Then on the right hand side, we have the control buttons, the minimize, maximize, and the close buttons, which you all, I know that you might be knowing all this. And then coming down, we have the file tab and then the home tab, insert tab, design tab. So these are basically different menus that you can use to either add a picture or add a video or change the templates or add any animation, etc. Then then we also have the quick access toolbar on the top of the home button, which you can see there's the file, the saving option, then the presentation option. Then on the left hand side, we have the preview of our slides. The slides are numbered in the order, second, third, fourth, and so on. And then we have the working space, the slide area, where we can work on our slide. Then at the bottom, there is a slide number, then the comment section, then you can also zoom in, zoom out, and such. So you can do many things in your interface, in your working area. Sumar, next slide, please. So continuing with the interface, so this is the interface for the 2013, 16 or 19 version. So when you open these version, you will be presented with such a page where you will have the recent file pane where you can rework on the files that you worked on recently in the recent past. Then also you can select a blank presentation or you can select any template of your choice. And additionally, if you have Microsoft account, you can also log into that and save your progress. Suman, next slide, please. So now I will talk about how to make a presentation in MS PowerPoint. So to get started with, we first need to create a blank presentation. Like in Word, we create a blank document. Here we need to create a blank presentation. So to create a blank presentation, we first open MS PowerPoint. Then on the left pane, we select the new option. And then from new, we either select a blank presentation, or if we want a pre-made template, then we can either search for a template or choose from the existing ones. So this is how you create a blank presentation. Then after creating a blank presentation, what we need to do is we need to add slides to our presentation. So to add slides, what we can do is we can click on the home tab, and then under the home tab in the ribbon panel, there would be an option which is known as new slide. Then we click on new slide, and then we can choose any of the type of slide that we want. That is either a title slide only or a title and content, where like we can put a title and then write something about it, or we can have columns, or we can have comparisons also. Then we can have a completely blank slide, or we can have picture captions or content with captions. So it all depends on your use, how, like what slide to choose. Then after choosing a slide, we need to add text to our PPT. So PPT is short form for presentation. OK, so in a PPT, what we do is we add text. So we place the cursor inside the text box and then we type something. So we select the text and we can do all kind of things, like we can select the color, we can change the font, we can change the font size, etc., etc. We can also create list, bulleted list or numbered list. So it basically allows a whole lot of customizations. Next, we can also include pictures and videos, because like sometimes it becomes necessary that we need to add a picture. Just like in this case, we have added a picture of how to add a picture. So it basically comes in handy, okay? So we go to the insert tab and then we click on add a picture. Then we can choose a picture from our host PC. We can choose from the hard drive, or we can also search online for a picture, and we can also use the stock images. So there are multiple options that you can choose. We can also include 3D models for smart arts or charts. So everything you can do in presentation just to illustrate your slide. So after we have done everything, like we are happy with our slide, with our progress, we need to save our presentation. So now I will talk about how to save a presentation. So the procedure for saving a presentation is exactly the same as all MS applications. So you need to click on save
Yes,
as.
Siddharth, can I speak?
Yeah. Just
Can
a
you
minute,
hear me?
guys. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a minute. Hold on, guys. We have with us Lalit sir here. So let's hear him out first, and then we can proceed. So about Lalit sir, yeah, just a minute. Yeah. So we have with us here Lalit sir. Adding to his proficiency, he's now taking care of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sector 6 as the acting principal. So we are really proud of you, sir, for your mammoth task of teaching the new generation, and it's an honor for us to invite you here. Sir, the screen is all yours for a brief address.
Thank you, Siddharth. So first of all, good morning to everyone present here, and my best wishes to all the students and all the team members of NIT Rourkela. And what can I say? Yesterday, my son has joined. He's right now in class 7, and he had joined the webinar conducted by you. And he was telling he was very excited, and he really enjoyed the activities that you performed over there. So what I can say, although today it's a computer class going on, but my subject is physics and science. So I love conducting activities while teaching science, demonstrating, conducting activities. Uh, so that is what I know all about. And teaching science and physics actually, it's not a one-way job. Okay. What I mean to say is the students must be involved in doing practicals, conducting activities at home. Okay, your teachers also might be demonstrating some of the activities or suggesting you to do it at home. So it is up to the students that you must perform some activities through which you can learn the basic concepts of science, and you can actually feel science. Okay, science is not just about reading and memorizing. It's not that. So you can feel science, you can experience science. Nowadays we are using a term called as experiential learning. Okay, so you may ask what is experiential learning. Uh, it's just like that you do practicals, yeah, and perform some activities at home. So you learn in that manner. So that's what called as experiential learning. And in computer, it's all about practicals. Without practicals, you don't learn computers. Okay. So nowadays, there is a shift in the process of teaching and learning. We are now focusing on competency-based learning rather than content-based learning. If I ask Newton's first law, second law, then it's just a matter of content. Okay. But if I ask you how these are applied, and if I give a situation where you have to apply these laws, then we are developing competencies. So there is a shift in the process of teaching and learning, and there is more focus on learning by doing. Although yes, there are so many concepts that we have to memorize also, we cannot ignore that. But many of the concepts you can learn by performing activities or practicals. And so many experiments, you actually need not buy costly articles for that. Uh, the activities can be performed at your home using waste materials. ओके, आपके घर में जो भी है, प्लास्टिक बॉटल है, बलून है, इस तरह की चीजों से आप कुछ ना कुछ बना के आप साइंस को सीख सकते हैं और फील कर सकते हैं, एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं, एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं, ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, स्कूल में हमारे बच्चे भी ये सब कर रहे हैं और हमें वीडियो भी भेजते हैं। तो सो दैट वाज फ्रॉम माय साइड, एंड व्हाट कैन आई से, सो यू गाइस आर डूइंग वंडरफुल जॉब इन मोटिवेटिंग द स्टूडेंट्स। आप लोग बच्चों को इन्वॉल्व कर रहे हो, उनको इंस्पायर कर रहे हो। ठीक है, सो मेरे तरफ से आप सभी को बहुत बहुत बधाई एंड ऑल द बेस्ट एंड थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful words.
Thank you, sir.
We have taken inspiration from that as well. And yeah, like the students must have also taken some kind of experience from that, and they will surely applicate it in their lives and in their further studies. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in. You can
Okay.
stay as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, I have to leave. It's Sunday, and a lot of
Yes.
homeworks remaining. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in. Thank you. Yeah, Priyanshu, you can continue now.
Yes, Siddharth. So, like picking up from where we left, so we were discussing about how to save a PowerPoint presentation. So to save a PowerPoint presentation, it's basically the same procedure. You go to the you go to the Save As tab, which is present on the top left corner, and then you can select your destination. Also, you can select OneDrive, like if you want to save your file in your drive. So, okay, so that basically saves some space on your local storage device. Or you can like do that also. You can select a location on your PC, or you can browse so that you can select some other location, some other hard drives also. And also you can select the format. You want it in PPT format, or you want it as PDF or a XPS document. So it's all like dependent on you. So coming next, Suman. Okay, so these are some of the options that you can select while saving a PPT. So in the optimize for section, you can select the quality in which you want to save. For example, if you want to print a document, so you need the highest quality possible so that your PPT doesn't get pixelated while you print it. Or if you want to like email it to someone as an attachment, you would want it to make it smaller so that it is within the email limit. Then some options will appear which will help you to save it as PDF also. So to save as current PDF, to save as a PDF, if you want the whole thing, you can do that. If you want to save only a specific slide, you can also do that by selecting the range. Under the range, then you select the current slide. Or if you want to save a set of slides under a PDF, you may do that also. So in that case, you just have to specify from which page number to which page number, I mean slide number, you have to save. And if you want to like add some comments or handouts, or you want to view it in outline view, and then you want to publish it, so you can do all sort of things in that particular thing in the options while saving. So you can choose to include frames, you can choose to hide slides, you can do everything. You can add comments, or you can add your handwritten information. So it's completely customizable. So the next thing which comes is the insertion of objects, and under objects, we will discuss three things: the pictures, audio, and videos. So objects help us to make our PPT more presentable. It makes it more like it makes it easy to navigate through, and helps us in presenting the information in a more connecting way. So you can like don't feel bored, and it doesn't feel monotonous. Okay, so next slide. So we have already discussed how to insert a picture. So to insert a picture, you need to click on the insert tab. Then in the ribbon, you have to click on pictures. Then you would be presented with three options. You want to insert a picture from your device, or you insert a picture from stock image, or online picture. Next slide, please, Suman.
Insert a picture into your PowerPoint presentation.
Small video on how to insert a picture.
Insert pictures. Choose one of the options. This device lets you choose a picture from your PC. Stock Images lets you choose from a collection of high-quality images. icons, cutout people, stickers, and illustrations. Online Pictures lets you search for images from the web. Drag a handle to resize the image. Drag the image to move it where you want. Or use design ideas and let PowerPoint create a beautiful slide for you.
So I hope that the video was pretty clear to everyone as explained by Microsoft themselves. So you saw that how you can resize or you can reposition your images. You can choose from where to add. So everything you can do basically. So there is such a huge degree of freedom. And then next we will see about how to insert a video from YouTube or from any other site. So it happens so many lot of times that while surfing the net, we look for some related videos that we want to show to our audience. And it happens that we cannot directly add from YouTube from another site. So presentation helps us to do that. So all we need to do is we need to copy the URL of our image, URL of our video. URL is the link. So we need to copy the URL and then we need to paste it in the PowerPoint where there is a specific option to add the URL from other sites for YouTube. So we can paste that particular link in that section and presentation will create a direct link to the YouTube to our slide. So we can play the YouTube video directly on our presentation and we don't need to use any third-party app to download YouTube videos or from any other sites. The next slide, please.
In PowerPoint, insert videos from
add a video.
Site, them in your presentation. In your browser, locate the video you want. Copy the URL. Switch back to PowerPoint and select the slide where you want the video. Select Insert Video, Online Video. Paste the URL. Select Insert. You can resize the video and place it where you want on the slide. In normal view, press the play button to watch it. In slideshow, play and pause the video just like you would in a browser. By default, videos play in click sequence. Select Playback to change how it starts during your presentation. Videos can be inserted from YouTube, Vimeo, and SlideShare, or Microsoft Stream if you have a Microsoft 365 account for work or school.
So guys, as Isha had said in the WhatsApp group that you can do the things simultaneously also with us. Okay, so that will help you incorporate these concepts better because you would be doing it live with us. So you may do that and it would be really helpful in case you do that. So next we will come to how to add or delete audio from our presentations. So audios are basically needed when we need to explain something which on text would be very lengthy to read. So we can add some short and crisp audio notes to aid with that. So to select to add an audio, the procedure is again same. We again need to go to insert, then click on audio, and then we can choose our source destination which is normally my PC. Like you can select an audio file which is already present in your desktop, and in the insert dialog box you can select the audio file that you want to add. And to delete an audio, you just need to select the audio icon on the slide and press the delete button. So it will be deleted, as simple as that. The next slide, please.
Add audio, such as music, or even recordings to help your presentation stand out. Select Insert, Audio, Audio on my PC. Select the audio file you want to add. Select Insert. An audio icon will appear on the slide. Press play to hear the audio. To add a recording, select Insert, Audio, Record Audio. Your device must have a microphone enabled to record audio. Type a name for the recording. Select Record and start talking. Renewable energy can play an important role in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Using renewable energy can reduce the use of fossil fuels, which are the largest source of U.S. carbon dioxide emissions. Select Stop when you're done. Select Play to review the recording or select Record to re-record your clip. Select OK when you're done. If you want to make changes to your audio, select the icon and then select the Playback tab. Here you can use Trim Audio to make cuts to your audio file, use Fade Duration to change where the audio fades in and out, adjust the volume, choose when the audio starts, and choose how the audio plays across the presentation. To delete an audio clip, select the audio icon and press Delete. Sounds great.
So that was pretty neat, I guess. I mean, they explained it so well how to add or delete an audio. So now from the smart art graphics and how to create it, my co-host Sagar will guide you all. So Sagar, it's all yours now.
Thank you, Priyanshu. So hello everyone, I am Sagar Mangraj, sophomore in NIT Rourkela. So I'll be showing you how to create a smart art graphic. So basically, what is a smart art? Smart art is a dynamic picture which you can interact with and make your presentation more informative. So how to insert a smart art graphic? So select the insert, then under it, from the insert ribbon, select smart art. In the smart art, let me share my screen. Wait a minute. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes. So first we will go to the insert tab, then under it, smart art. So here are a list of various types of smart art that you can add to your presentation. So what I will go to, it is cycle, let's say, and I will choose this smart art. So you can click on text, then write whatever you want. So what I made is an interconversion between the three phases of three states of matter. So we created a informative graph without much complications. So Suman, can you share the PPT? So this is how you insert a smart art graphic. Suman, next slide, please. You can also, let's just say in the smart art, there were 3 boxes. So I want to add another box. So we will go to add shape as shown in the picture, and you can insert, after you click the drop down, there will be 2 options, whether to click add shape after the shapes or add shape before the previous shapes, like that. Suman, next slide, please. So you can also change the colors like according to the color code of your presentation. You have select the smart art first, then in the menu you can select design tab. Under the design tab, as you can see, change colors. From there you can choose your desirable color that you want your smart art to have. Shuman, next slide please. So now you have completed your presentation. Now you have to present it to others. So how will you do that? So I'll be presenting my screen. So first, wait a minute. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just say my presentation is complete. Now I have to present it to others. So here I will go to slideshow. Then I will choose that I have only one monitor, that is my primary monitor. Then I will check this box, that is use presenter view. I will check this box and then I will select from beginning here, or you can press F5 in the functions key. So here is my PPT. So in the left bottom corner, you can see there are several buttons where you can navigate your presentation, or you can use your keyboard to do the same task. You can also click this pen button to select a laser pointer or a pen or a highlighter. I will choose laser pointer, which makes it visible to others what I'm pointing at. Then I can choose pen to write something, and then I can choose highlighter to highlight important points. I can also use eraser to erase, and you can use escape button to leave the pen. You can, as you can see here, if we click this, it will preview all the slides that we have. And you can use this to zoom in to a particular part of your presentation. So this will be it to how to present your slide. Thank you.
In PowerPoint, Presenter View is a great way to view your notes and see your upcoming slide while giving a presentation. Select Slideshow. Make sure Use Presenter View is selected and choose which monitor you want your presentation to appear on. This method requires more than one monitor. To start your presentation, select From Beginning. Use the arrows to go to the next or previous slide. On the right side are your notes, which you can make larger or smaller. To point to or write on your slides as you present, select Pen and Laser Pointer tools. If you need to jump to a specific slide, select See All Slides and choose the slide thumbnail you want. To view a detail in a slide, select Zoom into Slide and then point to the part you want to see. To hide or unhide the current slide, select Black or Unblack Slideshow. Select Toggle Subtitles to turn subtitles on or off during your presentation.
You'll notice on this slide that we've been able to generate renewable energy for almost 150 years.
When you're done presenting, select End Slideshow.
As you saw in the video, that you can also add comments, which will be helpful while you are presenting, because let's say you want some particular top points that you want to say but not added into your presentation. So you can also add comments, which will be not visible to the audience, but it will be only visible to you. So after this will be the workshop on MS Excel, which will be hosted by Suman. So over to you, Suman.
Okay. Thank you, Sagar. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. A very good afternoon to everyone. Myself Suman Kumar Mishra, and I'm gonna teach you about MS Excel. Before we start, I want to make it very clear that it is impossible to learn a software if you don't do it simultaneously with the instructor. It will just go off your mind or head in hours and days if you just simply watch the session. So it's a sincere request from my side. Kindly open the MS Excel and start doing along with me. I have basically divided the session into two parts. In the first part, I'm going to teach you the basics of Excel, and that includes how to feed data, formula, what is row, what is column, what is cell, etc. And then in the second part, which includes a question, I have sent you the link in the WhatsApp. You can go and download the question. We're gonna simultaneously solve it. I have provided a data set, so please download it and start doing along with me. And those students who will submit the answer of the question will get a certificate of completion of the workshop, which you can include in your CV. Okay. Hope I am clear. So without wasting much time, we will start our workshop on Excel. Before diving into the Excel, I would first like to know how many of you know what Excel is. What is the use of Excel? Anyone from the audience would like to answer this question? You can raise your hands. Our team will give you mic access. Just try randomly. We will. This is not a quiz session or nothing like that. You can just answer it.
Others.
Okay,
Yeah,
others.
Unmute.
Go ahead.
So basically, Excel is for making records or tables. It's used in especially schools and offices for that purpose.
Okay,
Excel,
good. You are somewhat correct. Cool, I liked it. Like you showed the courage and answered it. Anyone else?
Tanvi.
It is used for management of data in a organized manner.
Yeah, this is more correct answer, I would say. Anyone else would try? Okay, security.
Is used to organize data in a tabular manner and helps us to access it more easily.
Okay, it's correct. So let me tell the correct definition of the Excel. Not the definition, I would rather say the meaning or what Excel is. So basically, Excel is a spreadsheet program which included in Microsoft Office suite of application. The spreadsheet will provide you the values arranged in rows, columns that can be changed mathematically using both basic and complex arithmetic operation. This means like you can do mathematic and complex arithmetic operation in the Excel. Not only feed data, but you can just do the arithmetic and this logical calculation in Excel. So in Excel provides, okay, so what's the benefit of Excel? Why we are learning this? So first thing I would say, it is easy to store data. If you store a data in a grid, it will be easy to manage the data. Just in few minutes, I will show how to feed data, how to recover data, how to manage data, how to analyze data. I will just show you the live demonstration of Excel. We will simultaneously do it. Okay. So let's start the Excel part. I'm sharing my screen. Okay. Can anyone confirm is my screen visible or not?
Visible.
Okay. Then we can start. No. So this is the Excel screen. When you open the MS Excel, you will first see this blank workshop. If I take the example of live example, if you consider this as a book or as a notebook, so this is the name of the book, and this sheets, this is the different sheet. You can add many more sheets like this. These are the pages of your notebooks. You can consider it, or you can just relate to it like in a normal notebook. This is similar to this. This is a book, and these are its sheet or pages, and in this pages we will do some task. Okay. So at the very top you can see a quick access toolbar. This is the quick access toolbar available in the MS Excel in the newer version of 2010 and above. On the means in the earlier version of MS Excel, this was means you didn't had this one. You had multiple quick access toolbar. You can just click on it and drop down the menu and do the function from that quick access toolbar. So below that quick access toolbar, we have different tabs. You can see the tabs. Is the tabs visible? This is home, insert, draw, page layout, formulas. They are different tabs, and this is the ribbon. You can see this tab contains this ribbon, which include clipboard, font, alignment, numbers, various things you can do. Like you can change the alignment of the box. I can show you the examples. Suppose I increase the size of the row, and see, this is by default is in the means this is present in the rightmost corner. So if I want to bring it to the center, here I can do it. And if I want to bring it to the top, this is the way. This is the way how to bring it to the top. If I want to just align it to the left of the cell, this part is called cell. OK, and these are various columns. As you might be knowing, in if I take a real life example, every houses has its address. Like that, this cells also has its address, and this address is written here, F5. This is the F5 cell, the address of this cell. The column is F and the row is 5. So I can change the alignment of F5 cell. It contains 45. If I want to bring it to the rightmost part, I can bring it, and here it is the center. You can align the data present in the cell. If you want to change its angle, you can change here. You can vertically keep the text. You can rotate the text. You can do various things like it gives a lot of options to do many tasks. OK, sorry. Just let me redo the thing. OK, so here it's the alignment. Suppose you want to just cut this ribbon part. You just don't want to say this. So how to delete or remove it or hidden this part? Just click here. It will go away. If you want to see the data and don't want to see the ribbon, you just click there and it will go away. And how to bring back it? Nothing you have to do. You have to go to one of the tab and double click it and it will appear. OK. So here you can, if I go to this cell and format, if I want to, suppose this is the text. Here is this is a text and I want to change its font. Here I can go and change its font. And these options are undo and redo. If I want to undo something, if I want to redo something, so if I redo, the upcoming task will do, means as I have done, it will come back. And if I undo the thing, it will go back to its original thing. OK. Then we will go to insert part. Here you can insert picture as you saw in the PowerPoint part. Similarly, you can add pictures here. You can add charts. You can add tables. This part I will come. This part I will cover in the question. When I will solve the question, I will tell you how to include charts and tables. Then this part we can skip for time being. Then here comes the most important part, that is the formula. So MS Excel doesn't means not only includes the text and the data which you can feed into the cells. You can also do various mathematical, logical, financial tasks. Can anyone from the audience can identify this symbol? What this symbol is? Have you gone through this symbol? Anyone? Just I want to know this, the fun facts, and you might be knowing this, what this symbol is.
Yeah, Nikita, you can unmute yourself.
Sigma.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, we call it sigma. We use it in a probability or mean.
What is the function of that? Can you tell me?
Like to group many numbers, we use it.
Anyone else want to try? Shashmita, you can try.
Sir, to add or add together in all.
Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. Like if you want to add many things, like a couple of, not a couple, like more than 2 or 3 things, you can add this symbol. So this is used to add 2 things. I will tell you the details about this. I will tell these details. First, I will tell you how to include a formula into the cell, like how to add a formula into the cell. How we can do that? How the cell will know that we are feeding data or a formula or a function? How the cell will know? So to tell the cell that this is a formula, I will include equal to sign. Okay. Then if I want to add these 2 numbers and print the result here in this cell, what I will do is click the cell here. The address of this cell gets means the address comes here, address of this cell. Then I will add this with C9. The C6 gets added with C9, and if I click enter, and you can see the result here. Okay, this is the result here. You can see. Then okay, let me take this example. You can see this example, no? If I want to add all these number, suppose I want to add 1 with 2, 5 with 4, 9 with 6, 13 with 8. So I need to write the formula. But if this includes means you can see finite number of data. If there are thousands and millions of data, then how will you write the formula? One means you will write you will means write again and again the formula. It's not possible. So this Excel provides an excellent feature, that is autofill. What we can do, I will just write the formula here. I will include this one, this cell, plus this cell. And the result is here. And to copy the formula, I just need to go to this part. You can see the doctor symbol and drag it. And here is the result. The formula gets copied. This is an excellent feature by Excel, where you need not to write the entire formula, and if you drag the formula and just copy it, it automatically gets copied and your task become easy. Suppose I give you an example, like your teacher has asked to add this 2 column, then later he said that I have done a mistake, you have to add a number x to all these numbers. So how you will do that? You won't means you won't again write the formula. How you will do that? You will write you will write that suppose the number x, you will copy. Suppose I want to add 4. Then once again I have to change the formula. So once again I have to drag it. It takes a lot of time. Okay. Yes. So 4 gets added. It takes a lot of time. So how to solve this problem? What I can do is that I can add the number x here. Suppose 5. I can add it here. And here what I can do, just add this number. You will think this is done. You are getting the result and you will copy the formula. But it isn't. You are facing some trouble. Why this is so? Why you are getting result 9? Why the 5 is not being added here? This is because the cell has changed. What I have said that when you copy the formula, the Excel automatically Excel automatically updates the address. So how to solve this problem? If you want to fix a cell, like want to fix a number in the formula, how you will do that? This can be done using $sign. If I add the dollar, this cell will remain constant. Okay, sorry. Okay. I need this here. So if I add this and add here $sign, and copy the things, suddenly we'll see a change and you get the correct result. This $sign does is what? Does this, like, it makes the cell constant. It makes this cell constant so that when you copy the formula here, drag it down, the formula don't change or get updated. So now we'll go to some different function like data. Suppose I will give you an example, like if your ma'am asks you to add 2 sheets, like data from 2 sheets, and she says that sheet 2 contains names, some of the names from sheet 1, like datas are redundant from sheet 1. So how to do that? Like here you can see there are there are 6 names and my name, Sagar name is redundant. So how to delete that? So here you can do is what? You can remove the duplicates. Just you can click here, column N, and press on OK. And this removes the duplicate part. Instead of checking one by one and feeding the data, you can just copy paste the data here and delete the duplicate. It will make your task easy. Okay. Now you can see something like this $sign. How to add a $sign? How to add this rupee sign? How we can do that? Simply we can go to home section. This is the numbers. Okay. So if I click on this, it shows currency. If I expand it, it shows currency. I have added, I have faded Australian dollar. If I want to make it to rupee, I want to change it to rupee. We'll just type it and make it decimal place to 2. So here it comes. The format get changed. If I copy the format, it will get copied. So here how you can change the format or copy the format by just dragging the cell. So the basics part is over. Now we will switch to the question part. In question part, we will cover many things like sorting, how to use functions, how to use that auto sum, how to do statistics, how to include graphs, many things. Okay. Okay, before we start, let's take 2 minutes break so that you can recall what I have taught, and we can apply it here in this data set. So we are taking 2 minutes break, then we will return back. Okay. Meanwhile, you can download the datasheet. I can show you how to download the datasheet. So just click on the link I have provided in the group. You can go there. Just click here, Excel workshop dataset. This is the question set, and this is the sample solution, and this is the data sheet. And how to download it? You have to click here, go to file section, download, type your Microsoft Excel, and it gets downloaded. So guys, you can download your data sheet and start doing start doing along with me.
Guys, it will be wonderful if you do it with Suman so that you can learn what he has already taught and what he will be teaching. And yeah, those who complete this task and submit it will provide them certificates.
So we will start now. So this is the data set. So what's the question? We will first look into the question. Here is the set of questions. Here's the set of marks given in the data set. Here include name, group, feedback, quiz marks. So first we need to add this quiz mark and give the total. Before adding the quiz quiz marks, we'll first highlight this part so that it get distinct from rest of the data. So to do that, make it thick and just add a color so that it get distinct from rest of the data.
Guys, look at this carefully because you have to do this.
Just adjust a column. Okay, then we will add the formula here. How to include the formula? Just type the equal sign and this column plus this cell plus this cell. Sorry. Adding this cell with this, then quiz 3. This is how we can get the total. I will copy the formula along the entire data set here. Here how I get the total. You can just type the formula in one cell, then copy to rest of the cells. So here you will calculate average out of 100. So what's the formula of average? Total by total marks by total marks possible into 100. So to do this, we'll include a equal to sign, then the address of this cell divided by total marks possible. To 100. So here I get the average. So I can copy this formula to this column, and here I get the average. It looks untidy, no? Like this thing doesn't have decimal places, and this thing has up to 8 decimal places. So how to manage this? Simply we'll do like, we'll go here, numbers, and click here to up to 2 decimal places. Just click OK, and it gets set. Now we will calculate the average of the class. Like from the entire data, we will calculate the average marks. So to do this, we will use the function. The function that is statistics. We will use statistical function average. So I need to calculate the average and print the result here. So to do this, I will just select the data. I will click on more functions, statistics, average, and the data gets selected. I will click on OK. Oh, sorry, it does. No. I have to click here where I have to print the result. I will click that cell. Just go to the data part, formula part, more functions, statistics, average. Then I will click here. I will click the box, the data for which I need to calculate the average. So here, and click on OK. It's from J2 to J60. When I click OK, I get the result that is 67.77. So here is the average of the entire data. Okay, we have done something wrong here. So here we complete the part, average part. Now I will check whether the marks are more than average or not. Whether this average of means this cell is more than this cell or not. How to do that? We will do it by including a logical statement, that is a if statement. So to include a logical statement, first you have to write a logical expression. So how to write a logical expression? Here you have to click the data, like this data is greater then the average. If this is true, then I will type here yes. And if it's false, then I will type here no. You can see here that this data means this value is greater than this one. So therefore it's showing yes. So what I need to do, if I want the entire data sheet to follow this formula, I simply need to drag this down. Okay, some error. Okay, there was some error here. Oh, I need to fix the cell because I have to constantly check with this cell. So I need to fix this one. So now I can. Yes. The formula gets copied. And you get the result here. You can see here, since this number is greater than this one, it's showing yes. Since this one is less than this cell, this average, it's showing no. Now we will come back to the grade part. So how we will do the grading? Let's go back to our question. So we will do the grading if a person score more than 90 or if a person score 90 or more than that, he will get EX. If he scores more than 80 or he scores 80 or more than that, he will get A. So similarly, I have assigned the grade. I have to assign the grade. So I will use here if else if ladder statement. Because there is more than one test conditions, therefore I have to use if else if ladder statement. So how to do that? I have to go here, and this is the if else if ladder. Here you can write more than one statement. You can include multiple statement here. Suppose what was the condition? If I copy from here. So if a person scores more than 90, then he will get EX. This is K2, no? Is K, row is 2. So if a person score more than 90, then he will get EX. Then if he scores 90, then he will also get EX. If a person score more than 80, okay, why I have pressed yes. If a person scores more than 80, he will get A. Similarly, you can write all your statement, like all the logical statement to fit the formula. And since there is a time constraint, I will just copy paste the formula from here. So since this is the cell K2, I need to change all the value. The problem here. Let me check. Oh, sorry. Why I'm taking K2? I have to check this one. No, I have to take J2. So I have to take here J2. I have taken K2. So once I have to change the data's formula. Here it goes, and we get the grade. Since he's scoring 72, it's between 70 to 80. He's getting B. So I can, like this way, I can copy the entire formula here, and it's done. It's so simple. Means you don't have to type the entire formula again and again. You can just copy the formula in the means the entire column you can copy and do with means you can manage thousands of data similarly. So now what I have to do, so if I come back to the question part, here is the sample part, sample answer. So I need to sort this data uh, according to the marks. The person who is scoring more will be at the top of the row, will be at the top of the list, and the person who is scoring less will be at the bottom. So how I will sort the data? This is the most important part which you can do it in the Excel. So what I need to do is copy the name. Here, then this will include grades. This will include marks. Sorry. Then there is grades. So there is grades. So I will include the marks. This is the marks from 100. We'll copy the marks. Since we have added here a formula, it means you have to paste the value. When you paste, you just click here value, or else the formula will get pasted here. So now I need to copy the grades here. Okay, it's done. So now we will sort the data. So I will click the entire data. And I have to sort it according to the marks. I'll go to data, then sorting. So here I will click the column which I want to sort. Suppose I want to sort by marks. So I will click here largest to smallest, as we need the person who scores maximum in the top and the one who score less in the at the bottom. So I will click OK, and you see like it gets sorted. I can do this with this thing with other options also. I will sort it with grades now. Just see grades. So I have to cell values order. Here what I have to do is like I have to add a custom list. Like I have to add since Excel don't have this custom list, like you have to arrange it with EX followed by A, then B, then C. So how we can do that is we have to add a custom list that is EX followed by A followed by B, C, P, sorry, P, then F. This I can add here. You can see that it gets added here. I will click this OK. Then when I click OK, you will see that this gets sorted according to grades. I haven't sorted it with marks. I have sorted it with grades. So this is the two ways by which you can sort the data. One by marks. It is very easy since your data is in number. You can sort it with. You can sort according like from largest to smallest. But in grades you have to use a custom list. So you have to type down the custom list there and sort the data. Here we get the sorted data. To make it distinct, I will color with, means I will fill the color with, I will fill it with different colors so that it has a distinct look from others. Sorry, I will see here brown. B. I will use here yellow. I will use your green. Then I will use your light gray. Then any more color left? Can do this, and last part we can do this red. Okay, now see this. Okay, this is merging with our top part, so I can change its color. Okay, this no, light gray. Okay, now you can see that our data is distinct. We can easily identify the EX, the person who scores A, a person who scores B. Now it is easy for us to identify the person. We can call this person like that. You can use this data means in different ways.
Hello, Suman.
Yeah.
Since we have a time constant, we'll shut down the task till here only.
Just last part is left. Just how to include the graphs. It will take 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
So now there's the last part, that is this graph part. How to include the graphs. So you can do this by just let me go to the question. You have to insert a histogram and a statistical graph of column D and J. So how you can do this? This is column D and this is column J. I will insert a histogram graph here. So I will select the data. Then go to insert part, then chats. I will select your recommended chats. So it's showing different charts which we can plot using this data. So I will use this one, histogram, and click here and see we are getting a histogram graph. I can place it here. Okay, I can just place it below. This is going down. Okay, here I can place the chat. I can change the title like histogram graph. I can here I can write histogram graph. Oh, sorry, graph. I can change its layout, like if I want to make it black, if I want to make it this way, I can change the style here. I will make it black. So I have to change the text color. How I can do this? I have to go to home and choose something white so that it's visible. So now how I can change this part, like how I can change the class. To do this, you just simply have to click this part and the option comes here. I will keep the width 10 so that the class interval becomes 10. And to club it, like I have to include a underflow bin. So if I click here 40, it shows me how many people have scored less than 40. And it gives me a perfect graph, like how many people have scored more than 90, how many people. If I want to show you the number, I can go to like here. I can have this number, this style I can include. We can have this one. So it's basically showing the number, means how many people have scored more than 90, how many people have scored. It is becoming easy for me now. Like I have to count, no, like how many people have scored D, how many people have scored me. If I include a chart, a person can simply see the chart and graph, see the chart or graph, and tell how many people have scored within this range. It is becoming easy. That's why we use graph to make the data and things very simple. Similarly, you can include this, like we have been asked to include D also, column D also. This is a homework for you, like you can try on your own how to include chat for column D. This is D, how to include this chat. You can simply go recommended chat and click here. So it's a task for you. You can try out. So as we come to the end of the session, yeah, just wait a minute. Let me stop sharing the screen. So now we are done with the question I have given to you. I hope you found this session interesting and learned some new things. Since we are running short of time, there won't be any Q&A session. So in the group, I will give you my contact details. You can ask your doubts through WhatsApp or email. Before signing off, I hope you enjoyed the session and sincerely do the question I have given to you and submit the answer in the link we will provide you in the chat section, so that we can evaluate your works and provide you with a certificate. So now over to you, Sagar. You can conclude the session.
So basically what we taught you today is the basic and foundations of MS Excel. There are many other aspects that we were unable to touch because of the time constraint. But I would like to say that you should practice more and more on this application so that you gain a decent proficiency, because Excel is used in data. You can become data scientist or data analyst, and you can also become an executive in management, because it helps in managing information about people, as one answered when asked about what is Excel. So yeah, these two softwares are used heavily in offices and in corporations. So I would like to hand over to Siddharth to conclude the session.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys, for this wonderful journey. Before anything, guys, I request every one of you to kindly switch on your cameras. We'll be taking a group picture. And by everyone, I mean almost everyone who is present in this meeting. Someone can please stop sharing the screen. We'll share this detail in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, guys, kindly turn on your cameras. We'll be taking pictures now. And then I have something important to say to you guys as well. As you turn on your cameras, kindly smile. Sashmita, your camera is not perfectly placed. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining.
Guys. Thank you, guys. There's something to be told. Okay, so we have a quiz today at most probably 4:30 p.m. Okay, so we'll send you the meeting link again in the WhatsApp group. So it is a science quiz, basically, not at all related to what we taught today. And there will be 10 questions to answer, and those who perform well, they will be getting certificates. And about the quiz and all, the quiz masters who will be there, they will be addressing you about the instructions and all. Okay, so don't panic. The quiz is not at all related to your school marks, but it will be related to what you study in your school, and take it as a fun event. Yeah, so we'll be dropping down our YouTube channel link. Okay, we'll be dropping down our Instagram handles link, and we'll be dropping down the PPT that we have made for you guys to go through. For the Instagram part, you can go through our page, follow the like the content there, and you can also see the reels that we have made. There are small science experiments that we have performed, and you can watch them. And then in our YouTube channel, you can subscribe our channel, and soon we'll be uploading this particular session on YouTube. So you can watch it and tell your friends that you have been part of an event that was conducted by NIT Rourkela. Okay, and yeah, like you can also watch the sessions that we have previously conducted, and do follow our Instagram page so that you can be in touch with us and know about our future sessions and can join as well. So thanks a lot to you guys for joining in and being such a patient audience. I hope you all learned something or the other, and that will definitely help you in your higher classes and higher studies. So yeah, see you at the quiz. All the best. Bye, guys. The details will be sent in the WhatsApp group, and perform the task diligently so that you will get a certificate. And the details where you have to submit the task will be provided in the WhatsApp group itself. So prepare yourself for the quiz and get ready.